Hi everyone. Epilepsy Month is here. March is Epilepsy Awareness Month here in Canada. My name is Trevor Gordon. I do the communications with the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance. Hello. Today we are going to talk to Cassidy Megan. She is the founder of Purple Day. Before we have Cassidy join us, I just want to share a few things that the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance is doing to help with creating Epilepsy Awareness Month across Canada. While people are joining, I will talk about a few things what the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance is doing. Please, with this format, write questions in the live. We will answer questions. We will comment. We'll talk about different things with respect to epilepsy awareness. So if you have questions about Canadian Epilepsy Alliance, Epilepsy Awareness Month, if you're going to have questions for Cassidy Megan, the founder of Purple Day, all you have to do is just write it in the chat. I will share the question and we will answer the question for you. So, Canadian Epilepsy Alliance, our website is canadianepilepsyalliance.org. You can pull up our website, canadianepilepsyalliance.org. We have all the different things that the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance will be taking part in this year. The one thing we are bringing back, we started this in March 2020, is the I Am 1 in 100 campaign. So what this campaign is, you go to our website and you download a sign that you can create your own personalized messaging for. So whether you yourself have epilepsy or a friend of yours or a family member wants to support the individual with epilepsy, everyone can take part in this campaign. You basically grab the sign from our website. It's a blank sign. I'll pull it up right now. So it's basically a sign like this, and then you can personalize it to whatever appropriate messaging you want to share, and you basically share it. These signs are available in both English and in French. So the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance website is both in English and in French. I see Tiffany has joined us. Hi, Tiffany. Tiffany is an amazing, amazing person that creates epilepsy awareness. You should follow Tiffany on Instagram. She has many, many different, so much content with respect to epilepsy. So thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Epilepsy Goat, for the shout out about the campaign. So basically, that was the first 1 in the 100 campaign. We also are doing a video campaign. So we are asking public figures, whether it be celebrity, politician, public figure, a really known neurologist. We're asking them to create a video to bring awareness to obviously Epilepsy Awareness Month and Purple Day. So we're creating videos from all over Canada and the US, and we're going to be sharing those videos in the next few weeks. So we really want to draw attention to epilepsy, and that's why we are getting help from public figures all over Canada to talk about epilepsy. So you will be seeing those videos coming up on the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance feed, as well as all the local epilepsy organizations across Canada will be doing that as well. Of course, Purple Lights. So on March 26th, we will be discussing that with Cassidy a little later. But what the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance is doing, we are inviting the public to contact all the landmarks across Canada and getting every landmark that we can possibly think about in Canada, well, across the world. We want to get all the landmarks lit purple for Purple Day on March 26th. So with the help of you, we have a tip sheet on our website that basically gives you tips on how to approach a landmark to get that landmark lit purple, okay? So again, CanadianEpilepsyAlliance.org. Also, we are collecting epilepsy stories. You have epilepsy, does a family member or a friend have epilepsy? Let's get those stories told. Epilepsy is not a rare disease. It might be a hidden disease, but it's not a rare disease. So we want as many stories getting out there. Epilepsy Goat, very good point. Epilepsy Awareness Month is in March here in Canada. Epilepsy Awareness Month is in November in the US. There's an International Epilepsy Day but I agree. Epilepsy awareness should be 365 days of the year. So now, so that we can get to know her a little bit, but I think we pretty much know who Cassidy Megan is. But let's just wait for Cassidy to join us.
Hi.
Hi, Cassidy. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So let me brag about you for a second before I ask you a couple
Dear.
of questions. I know the world knows who you are, but if there's just that one person that's watching that doesn't. So Cassidy Megan created the idea of Purple Day in 2008, motivated by her struggles with epilepsy. Cassidy's goal is to get people talking about epilepsy in an effort to dispel myths and inform those with seizures that they are not alone. In 2009, Cassidy Megan and the Epilepsy Association of the Maritimes joined forces with the Anita Kaufman Foundation to launch Purple Day internationally. That is a mouthful of information, by the way, Cassidy. So Cassidy, how do you feel? Today is March 1st. Epilepsy Awareness Month in Canada starts today. You must be very busy, overwhelmed. Like, how are you feeling right now?
Thank you for the introduction, Trevor. It is very busy. We are been full force this week getting ready for the Purple Day Gala in the Maritimes, which is actually happening tomorrow. So today's the last minute running around making sure everything's in order, ready to go. Aside from that, we have a trip coming up on, we're leaving Monday for BC. And then we'll be in Florida again this year on the 23rd for that event. And we'll be doing videos and everything between all of these. So it's a very full month, and I'm very excited for that because there's so much awareness being spread, and I cannot wait to see what everyone else is doing and for Epilepsy Awareness Month.
I mean, I'm probably going to go all over the place with my questions, so I apologize if I don't do it in a perfect timeline. But the one thing I know I've spoken to you about offline was, I mean, I've known you for many years now, but I still learn little things about you every once in a while, and it's always interesting. And even though I thought I knew your story 1,000,000%, the one thing that stood out to me a few days ago was that you got the idea, or you got inspired to start Purple Day when an epilepsy day or something happened in your school. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, so it wasn't so you're almost on the spot thought there. So the idea from Purple Day was actually, so I spoke of my epilepsy when the association came to my school to do a presentation. The following year, I actually started watching a TV show, and a commercial came on about like a cancer run maybe, or some kind of like awareness day for something else. And I'd actually asked Mom why there wasn't a day for epilepsy like that. And she's like, well, the whole month of March in Canada is for epilepsy awareness, so you have a whole month. I'm like, but like a day for like mass awareness, right? Like we're like bullying or this or that. And she's like, you got a whole month. I don't know. I'm like, whoa, what if we made a day? She's like, we can try. That's kind of how it was born, from just seeing a commercial about another awareness campaign.
I guess why I suppose why I found that interesting was ultimately I guess the point is that epilepsy education matters. That's really what struck when you mentioned that. So I mean, I know you're a fireball of positivity and energy, so I feel Purple Day would have happened regardless if someone had come to the school to talk about epilepsy or not. But I guess I'm just simply saying that the fact that if someone didn't come into that school to talk about epilepsy while you were in that classroom, I'm just curious. I think we both know it still would have happened, I think, but I just think it's quite important that schools bring many educators, epilepsy educators, into the schools and really express what epilepsy is, first aid training, everything in school.
It's so important. It's so important because with kids too, their brains are like this sponge that just absorb knowledge and absorb what they're told and what they're taught. So teaching in schools about epilepsy awareness, they absorb that at a young age, and then from that young age, you're like, oh, this thing that everyone knows about, and that like it's okay, and it's another health condition that like needs awareness. Where if they never hear about it until like eons later, then it's like it becomes more of a harder to like, I guess, retain maybe or remember. But if you teach them young, you keep at it, and you keep bringing these awareness and associations back into the schools, then it's gonna stick with them their whole lives, and that's so helpful because especially in school, like how many kids are in school, right? At least I don't even know, maybe say my elementary had 200. I mean, I know I had epilepsy, but there very well could have been someone else that had it too. It still didn't speak up about it, or maybe develops it later on, and you never know. And so, anywhere that you can bring associations like you guys, or the Association of the Maritimes, anywhere like, that you can bring you guys in to give awareness like that can be life changing.
For those that are just joining us, we're talking to Cassidy Megan, the founder of Purple Day. This is very informal. I know there's many people in the chat. Please share your comments, ask questions for Cassidy Megan. Cassidy Megan is really awesome that on Sundays, I don't know, how long have you been doing that on Instagram every Sunday?
The Sunday Night Lives, we started them actually over COVID lockdown when we went into a state of emergencies and everything was shut down worldwide, because it kind of created this extra isolation, because you're isolated anyways because you're in lockdown, but then you're already feel isolated with epilepsy, and the lockdown on top of that just made that even more extreme for a lot of us. So to kind of keep the engagement going and keep the community connected and keep spreading awareness even when everyone's stuck at home, can't do anything, like the lives were such a great resource for that, because everyone from worldwide, like Brazil, the States, different places in Canada, all joining on and just finding mutual connections, finding new online friendships. And even people would join on that didn't have epilepsy. They'd be like, what is this live stream? What's going on here? What are you guys talking about? Asking questions. And then they learned, and now they're doing stuff in the community. So yeah, it started like 2020-ish. And we still kind of do them, not as often. We do them every 2-ish weeks now if we're lucky. But yeah, they're amazing. They've been a lot of fun and a great resource.
I look forward to them, and what I like about them is it's like a combination, and this is only my words, but it's a combination of casual yet professional, all in the same thing, because it's casual that you feel quite comfortable and it's good conversation. But I know you and your mom, shout out to Angela, you're always both, well, you are always so good with your notes. You come in with an opening, you have, all right, this is what we're working on, and this is what's happening across Canada. And like, you're just laying it all out, and you stick to an agenda. And of course, and the other thing that I'm always impressed with is that you're streaming live on Instagram and you're going on Facebook Live. Like, I wish I would see your setup, because I know you're like answering questions on both feeds. So I just think it's really great what you do. You're getting a lot of comments. Great, Bruce Epilepsy says, great job, Cassidy. Keep up the great work.
Thank you,
So
Bruce.
again, yeah. So it's just a lot of people are joining. Again, please don't hesitate to ask questions or write comments. But while I have you, Cassidy, there's so obviously Purple Days has been going on for a long time. Do you have any highlights, any memories? I know there's probably so many memories of Purple Days, past Purple Days. Was anything stood out for you at past Purple Days?
That's a hard question, because there's things that stand out in different ways. So it's hard to like pick and narrow down. I guess the big like milestones maybe would be in different places we got to like experience Purple Day in, like going to like places like India or Japan, seeing how epilepsy is represented there, how the associations work over there. The culinary showdown showing like, you can still do you can still do the really fancy cooking show and gala despite having epilepsy, and everyone's there and welcomed. You have when 2018 was celebrated in the International Space Station and all throughout NASA. That was huge. And I think it was 2010 when I was presented the Queen with flowers when she visited the Nova Scotia. There's so many different avenues and ways to go there, and launching it initially internationally back in 2009, and just every time I see new people join on too, like that's a new person that's joining the fight for epilepsy awareness, and it's amazing to see that. And yeah, it's hard. It's so hard to narrow it down.
I want to tell you what my favorite memory of Purple Day was. My favorite, even though it was in a bit of a obviously sad and awkward situation with respect to the pandemic, but I liked doing that virtual Purple Day, seeing all the landmarks across Canada. Well, as many as we could. There was obviously many. But what I liked about that was, working with our past president, Cynthia Milburn, obviously yourself and myself in the back end. We had different individuals across Canada with their phone or their tablets broadcasting the landmark that was being lit, and we had some beautiful music in the background, and then you yourself, Cassidy, were co-hosting with Cynthia, and you were talking about all those different landmarks. But that wasn't even the best part of it. It was actually what you told me prior or afterwards, that was the only time that you actually got to see a lot of these landmarks lit live at the same time.
You're right, and honestly, that was on my mind too, mentioning that, because it was so like surreal in a way, but also amazing to see them all, like the process of them all lighting up in all the different places, because like different time zones, like some people shared videos that they took when it was dark, so you still got to see that progression in real time, and on top of that, all the other places that were happening live as well, like. And all at once, you're looking all over the screen, trying to like make sure you see them all. And yeah, it was very surreal, and but amazing too, and touching, because seeing it's that unity, right? It's that showing it's all together, it's all coming together, shining a light for epilepsy awareness together.
I have to say though that I felt the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance and I specifically, we felt really proud and loved, like all these emotions, watching your face reacting to all the landmarks being lit, or because again, it was just that reaction of you saying that. I mean, you can only be in one. I mean, Cassidy, you're amazing, but you can only be in one place at one time. So it was kind of, you got to see a lot of these landmarks lit purple across, and I feel like we need to do that again. It's just we got to figure out that right time with our different time zones and everything. But
it's hard. Time zones are a hard one to work around with that, because I mean you can't control the daylight, so we'll definitely have to, next time we do it, we're definitely gonna have to find a way to work with the sun in the night.
Comments are coming in. I love how the 1 year the CN Tower was lit up purple for awareness. Well, actually, the CN Tower is lit purple every year, and that's shout outs to Epilepsy Toronto. So many of the quote unquote popular and known landmarks, they generally get lit every year. And then part of what the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance is doing to support Cassidy and Purple Day is we're providing tips of how you can encourage landmarks in your area to get lit purple. Cassidy, do you have anything to add to that? Like, what would you say to the public on why or how we should get landmarks lit purple?
I think so I know some places do have a process of how to get them done, an application. I think my biggest advice for it is don't be afraid to ask, because the worst they'll say is no, maybe next year. If it's maybe they don't have the lighting, maybe it's just too late, maybe it's already booked. So you ask again next year. Don't lighting. When I ask people, like the city hall in Halifax, or I went into the office, I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be really cool if we lit up, the building in like purple on March 26th? And they're like, we can look into that, because I don't think we have lights for that. And then the few following year, half of the year, they're like, look what we got. And they went out and got lights, and then it's been lined up every year since. So never be afraid to ask. And they ask, and they're like, yeah, sure, fill this out, so like they can schedule in, so they don't, accidentally double book and book for someone else to lighting. you can find all these buildings like online. You look them up and you just call them or email them or whatever your preferred form of contact is. And yeah, just ask.
You're getting big kisses and hugs from France. Someone from France called Advocate Purple Day is saying big hugs and kisses from France on starting blocks here to raise awareness for Purple Day.
Thank you. So good to see you on here. I'm glad you're able to join us.
Another person
Advocates
has, oh, I apologize. Continue.
oh, no, it's okay. Advocates of Purple Day is an author and he writes about his daughter who has epilepsy.
I bought the book off of Amazon. It was great. Someone wrote, Miss C2753, my local town lights up its street lights amongst one of the main streets.
I don't see that one. That's amazing.
She also writes, it's nice on how we have all these ways within the internet now to spread awareness. Back then, it wasn't as easy. You would only have to rely on news stations or radio stations.
Or a newspaper.
Another person writes, if I could find one word to define Cassidy, it would be inspirational.
Oh, thank you.
We have many of the epilepsy organizations watching as well. And you know this, Cassidy, but for those maybe watching, there's 25 epilepsy organizations across Canada. So if you have epilepsy or you know someone with epilepsy and you live in Canada, please contact the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance so we can connect you to the closest epilepsy organization in your area. If you're watching from outside of Canada, you're in the US, the Epilepsy Foundation can connect with you. Other parts of the world, Google, there could be an epilepsy organization in your area, but here in Canada, we have 25. Cassidy works closely with all those organizations across Canada. One question I'll ask you with respect to Purple Day, Cassidy, you've seen, as you said, Purple Day and NASA and all these really cool landmarks. So I'm gonna put you a little bit on the spot. Do you have like a secret top 5 favorite landmarks that you've seen lit purple? I know you might be biased to your local city, but do you have like maybe a top 5 or a top 3 of favorite landmarks that you like lit? Is there one landmark that you really want to see lit and it's like on your wish list? Like, talk to me about that.
I haven't actually compiled the list. Yeah, it's hard because it's hard to think of all the landmarks too, like, off the top of my head too. That's why I don't want to say, because I know I'm definitely going to end the live and be like, oh man, there's that one too. I should have said that or should have said this. So I don't want to list any, but there's so many amazing ones, and there's some that like were lit up that like I think fondly of because of certain memories that are associated with them. So that's a bit biased too. But yeah, all the landmarks that are being lit up, they're so amazing to see. And people send us the photos of like what their landmarks getting lit up that year, and they're like, "Hey, look what we did, look what we did, look at this one." I'm like, "You guys are doing amazing! What the heck?" It's no way to choose. There's so many great ones.
All right, Cassie, as we wrap up, because I know this is a busy day, this is going to be a whole busy month, what would you say to those that are watching right now? What can you do to create Epilepsy Awareness Month? Well, actually, not just this month, 365 days of the year, and specifically even with Purple Day on March 26th. What can the public do that would make you happy for epilepsy awareness?
Honestly, guys, just keep spreading awareness, keep talking about epilepsy, keep asking questions about it, because that's the best way to learn. If you know someone who has epilepsy and you want to learn more, if they're open to talking about it, ask them, because I think I have yet to come across a person, maybe 1 or 2 people that weren't super open about it. But if they're open about it, then they're willing to talk. And I think that's really good to keep in mind, because a lived experience is one of the best ways to learn about it. Of course, medical is always good too, because they know a wide range of stuff. We know our experiences. But yeah, don't be afraid to ask, and keep learning, keep reaching out, keep asking questions, and keep sharing your knowledge. I did have one question for you, Trevor. What
Oh,
is some of the
wow.
stuff that you in the CEA have planned for Purple Day and Epilepsy Awareness this month?
We actually touched on it prior to bringing you on, but I'd love to talk to you about it. But we're going to do that 1 in 100 campaign again. So, Cassidy,
Yes.
I know you've done it before, but I want you to print out a sign and I want you to make it creative. And I want to have someone take a picture of you holding that 1 in 100 sign because I know you're going to make it really, really creative. So, yeah, we're going to do the 1 in 100 campaign. We're doing the tips to try to get as many landmarks lit purple. We're also doing the video campaign I know you helped out with getting as many celebrities and public figures to do video shout outs about epilepsy awareness and Purple Day. We're sharing epilepsy stories, so we're asking the public if you have a connection to epilepsy to write out your story, or if you have a son or daughter that has epilepsy, write it from being a parent, the parent's perspective. As I've been saying as many times as people will listen, epilepsy may be a hidden disease, it's not a rare disease. Someone told me that one time and it really hit home for me. Oh yeah, it's not a rare disease by any means, you know, 1
It's
in
a
100
rarely
Canadians.
talked about
Yeah.
disease, and that's pretty much the only way that it's rare. There are rare forms of seizures, but not epilepsy. Epilepsy, it's very common. A whole lot more common people think. Um, it's amazing all what you do, and I knew some of it. I didn't know you already talked about it, so I want
Yeah.
everyone else to hear
Oh,
about
yeah,
it
I
too.
appreciate it. Let's talk about it every day. Cassie, I know you and I and Angela, we've had this. Your mom has had this chat many times. Like, there's so many epilepsy awareness days. It can sometimes even get confusing for us that are in the world. You know, in February there's an International Epilepsy Day. In Canada, Epilepsy Awareness Month, and in November in the U.S. But the one day that we all
October
agree
is
on, I apologize.
in October. There's an epilepsy awareness week in October.
Exactly.
There's in Japan. There's so many, and it's true. It can get confusing, but it's important. I think that's why we say, it's always good to spread epilepsy awareness as much as we can all year round because we live with it all year round, and it doesn't just stop after one of the days or one of the weeks, one of the months. And any day we could have a seizure. So any day, all that seizure first aid is going to come in handy for anybody possibly. And the more awareness days we have and weeks and everything, and more awareness events, the more it gets spread, the more people are knowledgeable and will potentially be able to help us.
I agree, though. Epilepsy awareness is and should be 365 days of the year. But I will say we all agree on that Purple Day is celebrated all over the world on March 26th. That we know.
Yes, 100%.
Someone named Haley Gardner just joined. I think you've talked to her before. She had a whole Dancing with Epilepsy performance, and she just joined us. There's many people that are just joining us. We're wrapping up, but Cassie, again, I'm going to try to put you on the spot with this. Is there a challenge you can give to all of us? Is there a landmark that you've always wondered why it hasn't got lit purple yet, that you want to get lit purple? What can we, let's all get motivated and jump behind Cassidy. What landmark hasn't been lit that we can try to get lit purple this year? Well, Cassidy's thinking. Advocate Purple Day is saying, thank you, Cassidy, thank you, Trevor, and the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance to spread awareness. Thank you. That's buying time because I'm a little bad. I put Cassidy a little on the spot. I apologize.
It's okay.
There's so many landmarks, I know.
There are. And I think if sticking more, I guess, local for this first one of this challenge, maybe Parliament in Ottawa. It'd be really cool to see them light up purple. They've been supporters over the years, so it'd be good to see that building light up purple in solidarity with us. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I want purple that I haven't seen lit purple. Like, I mean, I'm in obviously the Toronto area, so CN Tower, the City Toronto sign gets lit. Port Credit, you came to visit us in Port Credit, Mississauga. The lighthouse got lit purple. Niagara Falls gets lit purple. I'm trying to think of a place that I want to see.
The
Like I
nickel
like going to,
in Sudbury.
yeah. Oh, the Nickel. Yes, I love Canada's Wonderland. It's an amusement park here, so I
Ooh,
like make that all purple one night. That would be fun.
that'd
I
be
think.
cool. Oh yeah, the dome in on the Ontario
Oh
side.
boy, Angela is your mom in the background shouting that out. Angela, I am so embarrassed that I did not say that idea. I'm a huge Toronto Blue Jays fan, and I did not think about the Sky Dome, Rogers Center, turning purple for
Yes.
Purple Day.
Yeah.
Like all the
Uh,
Blue Jay players should come out wearing all purple. Like spring training's happening right now, so in Florida, they could all wear purple baseball Blue Jay, purple Blue Jay jerseys. I couldn't even put that sentence together. Purple Blue Jay jerseys.
or even
You know,
like purple laces, or put purple on the bats instead of like where they have the tape where their hands go. Make that purple tape. There's ways to incorporate. We're still keeping the original uniforms.
you know what I'm
Something to
doing.
work on.
You know what I'm gonna do with this, right? I'm gonna totally grab this part of this segment and make it as a clip, and we're gonna go Dear Blue Jays, and we're gonna like, oh my God, thank you,
Let's
Angela,
do it.
thank you, Cassidy. You just come up that everyone that's listening, everyone that's watching in the live and in the recording after, let's all contact the Toronto Blue Jays and Skydome Rogers Center and ask them to light the Skydome purple, but not just that. Take it a step further, getting the Blue Jay players to wear purple, whether it be their jerseys, the laces, their bats, their gloves. We need the Blue Jays. And now let's take it a step further. The hockey teams, everything on Purple Day. Actually, I do have a jersey, a Maple Leaf jersey in purple.
Ooh.
If you can
Where'd
answer
you get
some
it in
questions,
purple?
I'll show it on the live. If you want to answer some questions or
Yeah,
leave some comments, I'll
sure.
get the jersey. Excuse me, everyone.
So epilepsy goats, everyone knows what a heart attack is. Not everyone knows what epilepsy is. That is so true. I say the same thing about choking. You have to hear people raise your hand if you know what to do if someone is choking. The whole room's going to raise their hand. You follow up with raise your hand if you know what to do if you see someone having a seizure. You might get 3 people. So that's why definitely epilepsy awareness is so important too. Misk2753 said, or wear a bunch of awareness ribbons. I had one, but lost a long time ago. I'm sorry to hear that. I'll have to get you another one. Uh, oh, Trevor, that's amazing. No,
Oh, okay.
where'd you get that?
When I went to the Leafs game, look at that.
We need one.
That's awesome. I definitely need one of those. I have a blue one, but I didn't know they came in purple.
It's one of my favorite jerseys, so it can be
I
done.
see why.
Let's put the Blue Jays on the spot. Let's get them to do the same thing. So I appreciate you entertaining while I went to grab a jersey. But Cassidy, as we wrap up, I know we said that 10 minutes ago. As we wrap up, what would you say to everyone as we start this month? And thank you, everyone.
I think to remember to talk about epilepsy awareness and spread the awareness as much as you can, but also for those of us who are living with it, keep in mind to remind yourself that life with epilepsy doesn't have to be limited. It could be, it's not limitations, it's adaptations. So you can still be able to accomplish everything you want to do, everything you set out to do, everything that you're able to do because you want to, and you don't have to let your epilepsy define that for you. We're Purple on March 26th, and reach out to local agencies if you have any questions, if you want to know more about any events going on in your area. They're going to have all the information for you of everything you need.
I apologize. There's one really good question that just got asked.
Yeah.
Can I get 5 seconds for you here? In your opinion, or your personal point of view, what can we do effectively to help those individuals who are suffering from epilepsy, seizures, and or auras?
I did see a question come through about the auras, and I want to go back to it actually. Effectively help those suffering from. I think as I think that there's different regards to that answering that question because, if you're medical, there's always research that can be done. There's always new treatment options, whether it's medications, diets, devices, surgeries to look into. If you're their parent or their friend or a sibling, just in their support circle and you want to help them, being a good sounding board for them to just vent to, or making sure that you let them know like you're a safe space for them to be around. Ask questions, because one thing with you guys asking questions too is it helps us be like know that, okay, if you're asking questions, that means we want to learn more, and it helps us know that we know that you know how to help us because you're asking those questions, you're learning, you're taking that information in. Helping us maybe avoid triggers. Like if you're photosensitive, driving at night the other night, we had a cop car pass us, so I have to close my eyes and my mom will tell me when they're out of sight so I can open my eyes again. So just being that kind of person for them, support them, but also let them have their independence. So another reason why asking questions is so good, because then it helps you better know how to help them. And yeah.
Epilepsy Southeastern Ontario, thank you for watching. If you're in Southeastern Ontario and you want to know more about epilepsy, Purple Day, and how you can help, feel free to reach out to our page. Thank you, Epilepsy Southeastern Ontario. Thank you to all the 25 epilepsy organizations across Canada that are all partnered with the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance. Epilepsy Southeastern Ontario, do not be afraid to reach out to Cassidy. I know she would love to come to any
Yes.
of your galas, events. Cassidy rarely says no because she was a fireball of information and energy and awareness. So Epilepsy Southeastern Ontario, please consider reaching out to Cassidy Megan. She would love to attend your event.
Thank you for the shout out. Those organizations are just so good. You guys are a tremendous help, and if you want to reach out to someone who you want to reach out to me, that's perfectly okay too. I'm more than happy to help out. Or associations are great for that information too. We all work together, so you can reach out to all of us if you really want to.
Well, thank you, Cassidy. Thank you, Angela, in the background. Thank you always for everything that you do. On behalf of the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance and on behalf of Canada, if I could be so bold, thank you, Cassidy, for everything that you do for individuals living with epilepsy. I know everyone would agree with what I'm saying right now, but they don't have the chance to say it like I'm getting over video. Thank you, Cassidy, for everything you do for individuals living with epilepsy. Thank you for what you do for getting conversations going. And shout out, I'm plugging you like a celebrity in your podcast. Make sure you check out Cassidy's Sunday segments. Reach out to her for her schedule because I really love watching that broadcast that you do.
Thank you. And yeah, please join on, ask questions. Any questions you have, we're more than happy to answer. If it's medical, we'll do our best, but always bring it to your medical team because we don't have that kind of training.
Agreed. My role is communications and media relations. A lot of times questions like that obviously go over my head. I'm like, where's that neurologist when I need him or her? I'm here to bring social media, communications, connect you to the appropriate people, epilepsy organizations. And it's a good point that you bring up, Cassidy. There's so many, what I'm seeing, you might be noticing the same thing, Cassidy. In the past few months, a lot of people are doing podcasts and streaming on social media and talking about epilepsy. And that's really happening in the past year or 2 years. And we appreciate that, but we got to be careful that we're not doctors, we're not neurologists. Let's direct some of those questions or the people to the appropriate epilepsy organization and or neurologist.
100%. There's actually like a running joke for a while on the lives about like, she's not medical. Like before any kind of questions come up about like this medication, this treatment. And I'm like, I always preface, I'm like, I am not medical. This is what I've heard. This is what my experience. This is what I've read and learned. write that all down or show your doctor this video at your next appointment, and they know you best. They know what helps you, what's not going to help you, what could counteract with other medications or health issues. So yeah, take everything you learn, you hear in these chats and on the podcast and online, and make notes to ask your doctor about. And then you and your medical team make the decision, because this is a wealth of information and great information. But we don't, everyone's body is different in that sense of what could help them or not. So that's why your medical team's going to know how to help you best.
Thank you, Cassidy. I apologize that I might have kept you longer than we were available for, but you're awesome.
Oh, good. It was fun.
Thank you so much. Someone just wrote Epilepsy Goat. Geez, I didn't realize it was March until just now. LOL. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That extra day just kind of threw us all off. But yes, today is March 1st, 2024. Yeah. I feel like I'm on the news. Today is March 1st, 2024, and we have Cassidy Megan here. But yeah, it's March Awareness Month, but we have Cassidy, the founder of Purple Day, March 26th. So thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to give you, Cassidy, the last word as I wrap the broadcast here. Cassidy?
Just thank you everyone for joining on, asking the questions, making the comments. Trevor, thank you for doing this and putting this live on for the kickoff starting in the month of March for Epilepsy Awareness. It was great, and don't worry for the timing that we had the time, so it's all good. And yeah, have a great day. Guys, be sure to keep sharing and taking all of us so we can help share what you guys have going on this Purple Day in March. And yeah, we look forward to seeing what everyone gets up to.
Thank you. Thank you, Cassidy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.